Hello. Now you may have noticed that last week I didn't post a video. So unlike me, normally every Monday without fail I do the upload and I'm here chatting. Last week kind of got away with me a little bit. So first of all, I apologise. Please don't unsubscribe. Please keep subscribing. Stay with me. What I've got to talk about today is hugely important, and I think it's something that is not talked about enough, and it's actually the reason why last week I didn't post a video. So if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, stick with me. I'm gonna be here every Monday without fail from now on, hopefully, unless I have moments like I did last week and I'm waffling. So let's just get into it. So basically, last week I went through some stuff. Life was a little hard and things out of my control happened, and I was very emotional and I was very tired because I wasn't sleeping, and I blocked my creativity through not listening to my internal compass, to my intuition. And I know that I talk about this a lot, but it is vitally important that you do it, because we got into, I'm not going to go into what it was, but things happened in my personal life that I knew before this thing happened that it wasn't the right thing. But because I was so desperately wanting it, I was in desperate energy and I wanted this thing to work so badly, I ignored all of the internal signs and I went ahead and I did it anyway, and it went wrong and it caused a lot of emotional turmoil. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But then, so there's two things, right? Never, no matter how much you may want a thing, no matter how much you may want something to happen in your life, if you actually deep down know that it's not the right thing to do, don't do it. Because there's a reason why your internal voice, your intuition, your higher self, there's a reason why you're not meant to do that thing or have that thing or be that thing or buy that thing or move to that place or take that job or something. There's always a reason. I remember giving a story about my own life, my husband's life actually, when we were going through the earthquakes here in Christchurch and we were in absolute turmoil, and I just wanted to run away and go home back to the UK, and he didn't want to, but we were desperate to move away from Christchurch because it was just horrible at that time. He was given a job in Auckland. He did an interview over Zoom, he got the job, it sounded amazing, he was going to get a massive pay rise. We started looking at putting the house up for sale and renting our place out, looking for places in Auckland, but he actually even handed in his notice at work. It was that far along. But just as it came to the very last bit of signing his contract and actually saying, this is it, I'm going to change jobs, he said to me, I can't do it. Something inside of me tells me that this is wrong. It doesn't feel right. I can't do it. Now, bear in mind, at the time, we were living with earthquake, aftershock. We had a young baby. I was pregnant. It was horrific. I was massively homesick. All I wanted to do was leave and get as far away from Christchurch as I possibly could and just change everything. He said to me, knowing all of this, I don't feel right. There is something that is not right about this. I don't want to do it. I don't want to take the job. I'm going to retract my notice. Well, I was devastated, because for me it was my escape. I was going to get away from the quakes. I was going to start a new life. I wanted to go home, but if I couldn't go home, this felt like the next best thing. And I massively miss cities. And I'm a massive city girl, and Auckland is the biggest city here in New Zealand, and it's the one that has all of the, it feels like a city. And I was devastated, absolutely devastated, but he was adamant there was a reason not to take this job. He was feeling it. He just said, I can't explain it, I just can't take it. And he didn't. And 2 months later, that company went out of business. He knew there was something within, there was something internally in his intuition, his higher self, his guide, somebody telling him, do not take that job, because however much it looks like the solution to all of the things that were going on in our lives at that time, it wasn't right. And thank God he listened, right? Thank God he listened. And so anyway, that is the moral of this week's episode. Listen. If you have any doubt, if you are wanting something but your body, your inner being, your mind, your gut is crying out to you not to do it, listen. Just sit quietly. Ask the question, should I do this? Why should I do this? Why shouldn't I do this? And just be guided by your answers, because they will be there. They will always be there. I've said this before. The answers are always inside us. And if we are brave enough, because that decision Steve made back then, that was brave. It was really brave to tell me, I'd had it. I could have said to him, I don't care, I'm going home, I'm doing whatever, you just do what you like, but I'm going. He actually bravely said, you need to trust me. There is something not right. I'm feeling it inside. And he's not a spiritual person. And so for him to put all that on the line, it was massive, but it was the right thing. It was the right decision. It was his inner being saying to him, this is a mistake, you have to listen to me. So there you go, that's that. But the other thing I want to say, which is the thing that I was going to talk about initially, which is it's not widely talked about in any realms of any life things anywhere, is that last week I didn't do a video because we were, as I said, going through some stuff. And you know what? Ordinarily, old me, who doesn't know this stuff, would have pushed through, would have done the video, would have hustled and worked and felt guilty and gone, no, I've got to do it. It's like, I've got to, it was the wrong thing to do, right? Hustle. You see all these memes, don't you? Hustle, do this, girl boss, hustle, put the work in, put the time in. Yes, there's a time and a place for that. But sometimes what you need to do is listen to your emotions, to your body, to your mind, to step away, to do nothing. Sometimes the best course of action is not to hustle and work and push through. Sometimes the best course of action, again, is to listen to your internal voice and literally stop, take the pressure off, step away, relax, do nothing. So I just wanted to debunk this hustle thing that's going on in today's life. If you don't put in these hours, if you don't work for this, if you don't do this, you'll never get there, you'll never make this money, you'll never be anything, you'll never amount to anything. That is wrong. I am really passionate about this, as you can tell. This is something I've learned on my journey. The more you push, the less likely you are to get anywhere, because it doesn't feel good. Don't push. Relax. Let what will be, and if you need to step back and do nothing just for a little while, then do nothing. Because if I tried to push through and do a video for you last week, it wouldn't have had any decent messages, because I was not in the headspace to actually tell you anything important. So what was I going to come on and say? Was I going to fake it? Well, no, because I've always said I am authentic, and that is what you'll get from me. Sometimes the best course of action is to do nothing, to sit quietly, to just let yourself be, to sleep, to go out in nature, to, I don't know, just do what feeds your soul and makes you better, because then you'll come back a better and stronger and more relaxed and less uptight and more aligned person. And that's what I come back with this week, because I allowed myself to stop. For probably the first time in my life, I listened and I allowed myself to just be. And I rode the wave. I'm always talking about this. You know, you've got to let the feelings in to let them ebb out again. If I'd have pushed and hustled, I wouldn't have ridden the wave, and I'd still be stuck in that emotional space that I'm not in now, because I just let it ebb and flow with grace and with total alignment and with total peace and with total clarity and calmness. And that is my message for this week. Listen to your internal intuition if something doesn't feel right, and then listen to your body if it needs to step back and have a rest. Do not push through. It is not the right thing to do, ever. And I, and my experience the last couple of weeks, am absolute testament to that. So that's it for today. Very important message though. I hope you got through the rambling bit at the beginning and actually stuck with me to listen to the actual entire thing, because it's vitally important. There's too much hustle mentality in this world. It's not right. Just take time and do what is right for you, because you'll know when is the right time to step back, and you'll know when is the right time. It's the masculine and feminine, right? Feminine is all flow and aligned and emotions, and that's what I let myself be in this week. And masculine is push. You don't want to be there all the time. You need to have the balance, the yin and the yang. You need to have the masculine and the feminine balanced, because that's where you'll find the best life. And that's where you'll feel amazing. And that's where you will ride life's waves, because there's always going to be some. Anyway, that is it for this week, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye.